Your first alarm of being threatened by a suspected white supremacist is your melanin, your skin tone. That's the first threat. They see a black guy, they can mistake my mic for a gun. They can mistake, as with the call from 911. Allegedly, Dre had a phone, and the suspected white supremacist thought the cell phone was a gun. I mean, they can make up anything in their mind. They can say my hand is a gun. They can say my elbow is a gun. It's ridiculous. All right, family, you already know what it is. Chauncey, aka Ukarema, Great Man of God Media, with another GMOGMedia spotlight. All right, family, white supremacy, racism is 24/7. Usually I don't do all these videos back to back, but there's so much information out there. I have to keep the content flowing, and I got to address the situation. Dr. Dre, all right. Dr. Dre was arrested and detained because of a suspected white supremacist. I'm gonna get into that story, family. For those of you who are new, I am Chauncey, aka Ukarema, Great Man of God Media. I talk about issues that affect black people collectively as a group. I also talk about issues that affect to racism, which is white supremacy, and I offer a suggestion on how to replace it with the system of justice. All right, so please subscribe. Once again, family, this issue with Dr. Dre, when I first heard about the story, I was like, Dr. Dre arrested? And I'm thinking, like, Dr. Dre has been in trouble in a while, ever since like the Death Row days. Because y'all know the history with Death Row when he was working with Suge Knight. That was a very volatile environment that Suge Knight had Dr. Dre in, and he had a lot of run-ins with the law, stuff like that. But ever since he left Death Row, he's been on the clean, straight, and narrow, and damn near a billionaire worth $700 million, living up in Malibu, and he's straight. So I was like, Dr. Dre arrested, until I read the story, which I'm going to read to you guys and provide my commentary about the situation. So yeah, Dr. Dre was arrested, and allegedly it has some racial implications, okay? But you know, as I read the story, you understand that this was done by a suspected white supremacist. So I'll have the link in the description as well as on the screen. So I'm going to read the story from TMZ.com. All right. The headline is Dr. Dre searched by cops in a alleged racial road rage case. Dr. Dre got cuffed and patted down by the sheriff's deputies outside his Malibu home after an alleged road rage dispute over a guy blocking his driveway. Sources close to Dr. Dre tell us the motorist had pulled off PCH and stopped in front of Dr. Dre's crib. We're told Dr. Dre asked him to move, and he did, but cussed out the mogul as he did it. Dre pulled into his driveway, but the other driver kept yelling, so Dr. Dre pulled out his phone to record the video. Our Dre sources claim the guy said, "Here we go again, another black guy with a gun." That just proves to you right there that was a suspected white supremacist. Anyway, LA County sheriffs tell us the motorist called 911 to report someone pulled a gun on him. When deputies responded, they put handcuffs on the dock and searched him. Okay, we're told they found no gun and let him go. However, the guy insisted on making a citizen's arrest, which means he filled out a report detailing his allegations. The sheriff's department will forward that to the district attorney, who will decide whether there's a case. Dre was not physically arrested by deputies. All right, family, so that's the story right there. And let me tell you something. You guys talking about it's open season on black people. It's always been open season on black people. The way that white supremacy works, they have different tactical things they do to try to maintain their dominance, right? They do things to make sure that our population is controlled, aka eugenics, right? Aka the purging of black people. So these are different tactics they like to use. So making these false 911 calls, and it's a pattern, family. This happened with Tamir Rice, right? Tamir Rice, 12-year-old boy with a toy gun. Some white supremacists called 911 on Tamir Rice, saying there was a guy, a grown man, in a park with a gun. A race soldier showed up, shot him in cold blood. All right, we saw it with Alton Sterling. All right, some homeless man felt threatened because Alton Sterling showed his firearm, didn't point it at him, but just made sure he showed his firearm in his waist, or in his pocket rather. And the homeless man called 911, and therefore that resulted in the death of Alton Sterling. And we saw it most recently in North Miami, Charles Kenzie. Some suspected white supremacists called 911 on a autistic man with mental health issues, saying that he was going to kill himself and he was playing with a toy truck and thought it was a gun. Okay, so again, these guys, white supremacy is dastardly. They'll do anything to make sure they maintain their dominance, and because of their issue with maintaining their dominance against black people and mistreating black people, these are the tactics they like to use. All right, it's no different. They don't care how much money you're worth. They don't care if you're in the ghetto, whatever status you have. If they feel threatened by you, they're gonna call you. And your first alarm of being threatened by a suspected white supremacist is your melanin, your skin tone. That's the first threat. They see a black guy, they can mistake my mic for a gun. They can mistake, as with the call from 911, allegedly Dre had a phone, and the suspected white supremacist thought the cell phone was a gun. I mean, they can make up anything in their mind. They can say my hat is a gun. They can say my elbow is a gun. It's ridiculous. And the fact that there is no I should say measurement with these 911 calls on how to ensure there is a false flag with these 911 calls, because that's abuse. Some states, in the state of Florida where I am, making a false report 911 call is a misdemeanor. I believe California, it's a felony. So check with your state and see what kind of 911 calls, if you make these false allegations, because that's a clearly false allegation. Well, I would say allegedly, but from what I'm reading, all the evidence is pointing out to Dre being innocent. As you can see, with his history, he's had a squeaky clean history as far as having run-ins with the law, being in trouble, things of that nature, ever since he left Death Row Records. He's been a model citizen, and he's damn near a billionaire. So what in the world can a damn suspected white supremacist feel threatened to call a person who's damn near a billionaire 911 and basically say, I'll offer you a citizen's arrest? I mean, that's the dastardly way that white supremacy works. All right, these guys will stop at nothing to maintain their dominance and mistreat black people collectively as a group. They don't care what your status is. All right, so this is a fresh story. Still waiting on more evidence whether this case is going to be dropped or is going to continue with Dr. Dre. But again, family, we're all targets. Again, like I said, I can be mistaken to have a gun. This mic could be a gun. Again, my skin complexion, your melanin is a weapon. If a suspected white supremacist see you walking down the street, they can call 911 on you because you're walking down their damn street. Okay, and anytime a person calls 911 and mentions gun, shooting, things of that nature, the police, the suspected race soldiers will be on high alert with their guns drawn. They'll have probably 4 to 10 cop cars showing up, okay, where you're at. And the fact that Dr. Dre got arrested in front of his own home, his multi-million-dollar home, that speaks volumes. And this guy who called 911 on Dr. Dre, allegedly saying that he ran as his weapon, he wasn't charged so far and wasn't arrested. But the multi-millionaire, damn near billionaire guy was arrested in front of his own home. That speaks volumes on how the power of racism, white supremacy works in this country. They will stop at nothing to maintain their dominance. So, that's what I wanted to talk about, family. Let me know what you guys think about this issue with Dr. Dre. Leave your thoughts as far as how can we combat this, because again, we're all targets here. Anybody can call 911 on you watching this video right now and say you're carrying a firearm, things of that nature. All right, family, let me know what you guys think down below. All right, Chauncey, aka Ukarema, GMOGMedia, signing out. Peace.